doesn't matter what type of salt you use. There's actually no human studies, for example, comparing the impact on blood pressure of different types of salt. So everything I'm about to say is conjecture. So an unrefined salt, like Himalayan pink salt, has some of the sodium replaced with other minerals. There's not super comprehensive nutrient analysis of these different types of natural salts. Company analysis put the number of different trace minerals at 50 to 80. A couple of scientific studies that have looked at this say maybe more like 30. So some of that sodium is replaced with, say, 30 different other minerals. How much of that sodium is replaced? Again, there's not super reliable analysis on this, and I think it likely varies. But I saw one study that showed up to 20%. So when you use it, you get a little bit less sodium, a little bit more of these trace minerals. Is that enough to have a meaningful health impact? When you look at the minerals we need in larger amounts, like zinc, copper, iron, calcium, potassium, magnesium. No, you're not getting enough from the salt you put on your food to have a meaningful contribution to your overall intake of those minerals. You're getting way more from the food on your plate than the salt you put on the food. What I find more compelling is the ultra trace minerals, things we need in just minuscule quantities, and for which the biological roles are still being studied, like boron, lithium, vanadium. But you don't need an expensive salt to get those either. Seaweed also has lots of trace and ultra trace minerals. Shellfish is generally a great source. And depending on which ultra trace mineral we're talking about, you're also getting some from fruits and vegetables and other foods. It's also worth noting that iodized salt, which was the first fortified food, did successfully decrease risk of goiter by like 77%, if I remember correctly. And these unrefined salts are not iodized. Iodized salt, of course, is a double-edged sword because if you eat a lot of it, you're getting too much iodine. But if the only salt you're consuming is unrefined, you do need to make sure you're getting enough iodine from your diet. Seafood in general is a great source. Sea vegetables to the rescue again. And eggs are surprisingly good. So, can I make a nutritional argument in favor of Himalayan pink salt or unrefined Celtic sea salt or whatever other expensive salts? You just heard my best argument. I certainly can't make a strong enough argument to justify the difference in cost. But if you prefer one type of salt over the other because of its flavor, that is another very valid reason to choose your favorite salt. I think we arrived at choose the salt you like, have access to, and can afford.